Milan is troublesome because of France and Austria. And truthfully, they're all going to coalition me as soon as they can. That said, we've nailed the amount of coalition countries down quite successfully. Ooh, I could even have an alliance with Portugal, who did just fall out with France big time, but maybe they can bring it all back. And I am a little lacking in good allies right now, and I could do without Portugal hating me. I've made a lot of fun of Portugal lately, but they've been alright to me in this campaign, I think. It's just good to have friends, keep enemies off my back. So we've essentially replaced Denmark with Portugal. That's okay. March your armies home and do fine. Otto friends might have fought Ferrari's rebels for you. Did they not pop yet? No, they have not. Ha, we managed to eclipse Aragon, that's a good joke. Oof. Well, it makes it harder for me to decide who to rival. Alright, we'll revoke their embargo for now. But we don't like France, so we'll give them one. Our troops should be back in time to deal with Ferrara if they can just hold off for another month or two. Britain will be fine in the war against Denmark. Denmark got trashed. Britain have unparalleled naval superiority. I just wish that Savoy got off my back a bit here. Could I force them to break an alliance around here? No, I could not. I could intervene in the war against... No, let's not do anything silly like that. Looking difficult, but oh well. Nobody said it would be easy being this bad. Siena's fine, it's protected by Firenze, and Proma for that matter. Just want my army back and in one piece. I'm blowing through money, rooting out corruption amongst other things. Alright, we'll get the Maltese Accord. I need one more of these done so I can prevent civil war. Sardinia or Sardinia, it makes little odds to me. Okay, as expected, Ferrara is rising up. Let's get as many troops as we can to Modena and hopefully jump on them. Alright, that should do for now. I can't imagine us needing further backup, but try your best. Increased demand for books. Didn't we just have Urbino get buffed up for books? Unregulated economic growth. No, I could do without the extra unrest right now. But we're going to have unrest anyway. Nah, I'm not risking losing that. We'll regulate it. We're industrious. Excellent. Can't wait for you to be ruling. Maybe I should keep the individual on the Ottomans so that they don't coalition me. It's not like I'm hurting for not a big fan of Venice here. We'll go for Treviso. It's not like I'm hurting on diplomats, so we'll just go for it. There we go. Ferrara's down, and wherever you go should be protected by forts. Yikes. We'll get down to Proma. There's tons of supply in Proma. It's nice having all of Iberia on my side and Britain, but it won't be enough. There's no need to pay for this navy. Let's try and save a buck or two. I'm really glad that Aragon were willing to donate so much to the cause. That was very generous of them. Take care of our rebels as they pop up. There are plenty of Italian rebels that want to come and ruin my day. And I should really get around to doing these conversions, especially of places that could be targeted by the centers of Reformation, like Calgary. Yeah, we'll just get you done. This center of Reformation could be targeting any of these Catholic places quite easily. But they won't target somewhere if it has a missionary on it. Costs a lot of money, sure, but we actually have a lot of money, and once we get these cores done, I won't be bleeding it out in rooting out so-and-sos. And I could also make it even faster. This guy will probably pay for himself with making the conversions faster. Use your church power for action of missionary strength. I would like to, so I will. Icons are very nice, but let's get rid of you. I would love to have the morale, but let's just blitz through these conversions as fast as we can. Every month I shave off is a month of dosh. Could those accursed clergymen not give me some admin power? No, not till 84. I think we get some Diplo, but the burgers are still not very happy with me. You have a second missionary. Dang, I keep forgetting that, don't I? Well then, where else could be done when it comes to conversions? I prioritize Catholics, because otherwise they'd be flipped. Ibiza is looking pretty hunky-dory for that, but it's being converted, so... Cord, rather. So then I look to places that are relatively cheap and are filthy reformed. Sassari pops out, but I'm not sure I like that. All this land would be very lucrative for me, or a lot more lucrative if it wasn't so... Where is even Sassari? It's cheap, so it wouldn't be one of these, right? Ah, this is Sassari. But it's got religious zeal, so how about no? I was reading off the end here, clearly. Alright, Corsica's nice. If I get these done, then they shouldn't be so revolting on me. They will revolt, that's a given. But for now, it's the manly Manchurians that want to revolt, and those Ottomans will not fight it for me. We'll get these fairly battered units off of my army. At least the PRomans only barely want to rise up. Babbling buffoons. Now I could do without more hits to diplomatic reputation right now, thanks. Alright, I can't do Calgary because it's being converted, but there we go. I get the core going, and as long as I have less than 10% overextension, and I'll be down to 9, then we'll stop civil war dead in its tracks. I don't have the mill power to enforce or strengthen government all the way up for that. I bet Jake is wishing he could make a patrician's district in this, those fussy PRomans. You should see what these barbarians get up to in their huts. It's a dang shame that despite their debt, Castile would defend Savoy. The real power play is to start a war, involve Britain and Castile, and during that I crush Savoy. Unfortunately, Savoy is almost certainly going to coalition me when all is said and done here. And I'm low on targets that I could bring in my good friends for. I have the Mamluks. Hey everybody, do you want to fight the Mamluks with me? The answer is no, they certainly do not. I lost my favours with Castile because the war, because of that breakup. Great Britain are actually quite happy with me. Great Britain would surely join in a war if they weren't busy slaughtering Danes. Oh well, nobody said it would be easy. In fact, I'm quite certain they said the opposite. Truce to Savoy is up, and that's bothersome. I doubt I could even threaten them for a province. No. Relative worth, value, not a core. Yeah, they're not scared of me. Especially since we share most of the same allies. By the way, Jake, Calgary is pronounced Cagliari. Oh, that's just silly. I prefer my way. The foreign quarter of Ava. Merchants have been settling in Ava. Well, that's good. Perhaps we should... Goods produced, good enough. I don't do a lot of trading back there, so I'll take the goodies. It also doubles down quite nicely. Alright. I wonder if there's any chance to stop these rebels from rising up. Probably not, right? Yeah, no, we'll just slaughter them as they come. Good job, Malta. Oh, I want to convert Malta as well. This is... well, this should be a full-on state. But there's a lot of conversion to be done here. Hopefully it doesn't get too butchered with religious zeal. New trade league. Yeah, lucky for them. Doctor says, I know better than to try to fix DDR Jake's pronunciation. You dug that hole for yourself and you know it. Okay. Well, we're alive. We're bleeding money, but that's okay. speaking of bleeding, that's what the Manly Manchurians will do right now. Away you go. Oh, reinforced speed for Handyman as well, that's useful. Who wants to rise up next? The Corsicans do. Of course they do. They would probably butcher my... well, lots of people do. The Lucans as well. It's nae easy, but let's get ourselves into position. So that we can jump onto Corsica when they're about to rise up. Oh, which is pretty much now. Well, a lot of this stuff is protected, so... by forts, I mean. So let's just... guys... I guess they were busy repairing up. Poor excuse. That was a bad move by me. I left my units at sea at the turn of the month. And for that they took attrition. Innovativeness, giving unrest in Cagliari. But I'll take it because I want that innovativeness. It's doing me good, and the Romans were very innovative. I want admin and dip tech. We managed to do well on mill tech after all. But what I really want is to be able to... Ooh, Castile almost wouldn't. If only I could offer to join Great Britain's war. I doubt they would let me join. Let me just say, for example, that I really want Hoyland. Maybe they'd go, oh sure, we'll give you Hoyland if you join our war. That would be great, get me involved in that war. Then all I need to do is somehow squeeze Castile out just a bit. And then victory is assured. Should probably make royal babies with Portugal. Especially when you get Maria. Welcome. Now please don't sleep with my advisors. It hurts me. Maybe Gelra wouldn't have been a great ally. They seem to have dismantled themselves a bit there. Diplomat's dead. Probably died of exhaustion with Maria there. Okay, let's go for... I like Spy Network, but let's go for Dip Rep. Might make it easier to enforce my will around here. Milan claiming my land. That's okay-ish. And I'm still waiting for the Corsicans to revolt before we head back. I don't want any more revolts here. So once this is done... Well, actually I need to wait till 1602 for this to be a thing. Ugh. I'll probably just... they're going to revolt anyway. Oh well. Well, I'm ready for them when they do. Is this Jake's first attempt at the challenge? Oh yeah. This is patented one-shot technique right here. And we wouldn't have it any other way. Huh, a lot of my rebel forces just went away there, for better or for worse. And the ticking up of civil war is about to stop, because we won't have the same amount of overextension. Even Ibiza has been cored, excellent, and we've converted this, so great. Let's get that final core done, and let's consider our next conversion efforts. I'd really like Messina done. I know it's expensive. It's very expensive, but it's a great province, and I do not want it converted by this. But dang, it's got autonomy coming out of its bits. It would have less autonomy if I just cored the place, but I don't have the admin to core it. I don't want to set it for Malta, but I'm struggling to think of other places to convert in the time being. I guess the larger their hit to my religious unity, the better the investment, so Genoa is probably a good one to do right now. This religious disunity is hurting me quite a lot. I can swallow the costs a bit. I mean, it's Aragon who's swallowing the costs, not us. Looks like Russia doesn't like us, so that eases us up for labeling our next rival. And that's nice, because Russia should be a rival for a very long time. What are you doing? Well, fair enough. Firenze keeps all this place under control. Come on, Corsicans, it's time to rise up. 700 viewers is dangerously high, Jake. Don't worry, we've got Draken right around the corner if the need arises. But things are looking pretty calm. And I do like calm. Messina is still a heavy hitter here. What does it take to fully core you? Oh, next month I'll be able to do it, so we'll do exactly that. More Milanese. Okay, so we get this one fully cored, the autonomy drops, and that drops this cost significantly. It went from like 13 to 8 ducats per month. Come on, Corsicans. Don't do this to me. I feel like we had a similar situation with Granada, where there were guys that just would not pop. I need to start building a spy network on Aragon, and I need to fight Aragon as soon as the truce is up. Even if he's allied with Portugal, c'est la vie. But our next goal... actually, I can score it off of my to conquer list. Because as I said before, I really want to conquer this in such a way that at the end of the campaign, when we hit timeline, it's going to look like historic Roman growth. That's why we landed in Proma. Also, it's partially because of the egging on of chat. But you know, where was it? I think it's like 1530-ish we landed. There we go. I want it to be that you see the growth and it looks a lot like a time-lapse video of ancient Rome. So we take over Italy mainland, although not too far north. And then next over we take the islands, and then next I wanted to show the colonization of Iberia, the conquest of northern Italy, and from there we get the fun of Western Anatolia, Greece, Tunis, and the Iberian mainland and the Adriatic coast. You know, Roman Yugoslavia. That means you have to fight the Ottomans quite soon. Yeah, I mean, just look at how hard I kicked their ass in the last war. You think I'm not ready for them? You think I'm not born ready for them? I'm not putting my estates to work a lot around here. It would probably be useful if I did, but I don't. After all, power should be in our own hands. Okay, Castile are going off to fight their own war. That is quite useful for me. Because if they get... Oh, they already don't want to join this war. If only Britain were fighting worse against Denmark. Or if they would join me in some other useless war. I guess that trust is kind of burning against them. Look, we all hate the Russians. Why don't we get together on that? No? Okay. Don't forget North Africa. Yeah, I said Tunis, but they just took a chunk of North Africa here before coming back to truly salt the earth. These guys on Corsica are having a right laugh. Every month... Hang on, they're actually almost about to not rise up. That's some kind of bad joke. I could just give them autonomy and then they'd never appear. I don't want to, but I could. I'm poised and ready to kill them, though. If the Lucans rise up, though, they're going to join up with the Milanese. Actually, maybe they would fight the Milanese. That would be quite useful for me. All right, well, let them come. Remember when conversion was dirt cheap? Oh, I remember every day when conversion was dirt cheap. People wouldn't stop reminding me. Conversion for a long time has been too arcade in the game. It's still a bit too arcade, but at least it's a bit more of a strategic decision now. Alright, Syracuse remains an important site for a new colony, so we fully core it up, and we... oh. For some reason I thought I had a free conversion guy, but no, he's over in Genoa. Dang it, there is a lot of land that I would really like to full core. But I am seriously lacking in admin for that. It's not until 85 that I can switch focus, but I hope I remember to. The Sicilians wish to rise up, but that's okay. That's why we've got Messina there, with its fort and mountain. Spy network, steel map of Central Europe. No, we're not doing that. And that song was To Constantinople by Andreas Waldetoft. Truce with Castile is up. We're still pretty happy with them. Damn it, Britain. Couldn't you just not? I bet you'd join me in fighting France. So maybe that's a pretty bad idea. Oh well, I'm sure opportunity will strike. When are you going to go to Constantinople? Well, when did they take Constantinople? Also, this is getting a bit daft. Corsica, don't make me give you autonomy. I don't want to. I doubt they'll take it at 7%. So much so that I'm willing to risk it. Alright, we are not going to have any Corsican rebels. I'm going to hate giving them that autonomy, but I will give it to them. Because sometimes X just has to give it to them. Resident Evil 2 Remake was a great game. If you hold out on your own, and those guys go and fight you, that's good for me. Good enough for me to risk a 7% on. Good enough to risk it. They even got a disease outbreak, what a joke. Alright, Luca, time for you to go and jump on in. Whilst I jump in on Syracuse. Very expensive, all these conversions. Come on, Luca. Don't make me fight them myself. Okay, that's fine. That's exactly what Messina's fort is there for. Messina's all nice and converted, so I get to consider who else deserves a conversion. I could do Manly Mantua to get rid of that accursed religious center. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.5 versus 9.7, so I won't be converting you anytime soon unless I put an edict in. And that doesn't seem worth anybody's time, so where else could we convert that's a heavy hitter on religious unity? Preferably one that doesn't cost my everything. Ibiza's a good enough one. It's at risk as it is by being Catholic. There we go. Very expensive to do with that kind of autonomy, though. How are we doing on the states limit? 23. I could easily make this one a state, but let's consider the long-term thing here. I probably don't care. Then again, the Majorcans are going to rise up, aren't they? Bloomin' Majorcans. Right, well, let's think about what we can do. We can get our last claim on Savoy. I can ponder why I'm not making further claims on Milan, given that I only have one and want many more. And then I can give up waiting in a few days and just go and attack you. Ah, they're never going to take it at 7%. Let's hold out a bit longer. Constantinople didn't become a thing until 300 AD when Emperor Constantine switched the capital of the empire. I think the Romans marched into Turkey between 100 AD and 200 AD, though. There we go, no Constantinople then. Albenga changing to Catholic. Not after I just converted it. Wait, they're both going to convert it? Angered believers. Well, sure, make them angry, but I'm having that province back. Okay, my dream of those Lucans marching in here seems to be dead, so let's go and take care of these guys. Dang, this is making me look weak. I guess I gotta kill you as well, and then we're going down to take care of Messina. Wait, Catholic zealots want to rise up in Kaliwatsits. I can't be having that because... disloyal printers. If they get that, they're going to switch the province, which is not fun for me. I'd really rather not have revolts in this island, and it's not that important to me. So I won't give you autonomy, but you're just wanting to be Sardinian separatists, and that's no big deal. I'll give you autonomy. Gatunk. And I will get these folks over there to reduce or remove that threat of revolt. Hopefully they hold for 1 month. They should. I'm not going to have you at sea for that month then. Nice. There we go. I should get rid of the Catholic zealotry. And you go and hold Messina. And that takes care of our rebel problem, largely. Jake, take Constantinople and rename it to PRoman. That's a bit of a stretch there, Chinese letters, but uh-oh. Oh, maybe not so uh-oh. Remember I was talking about how I really want to fight Savoy? Ah, but Savoy is in this war against France, Milan, and Switzerland. The British reconquest of Armagnac. So you're in this because you're a friend of GB's. Who else are you bringing in? Portugal, Savoy, and myself. I mean, I'd be a fool not to join in, but... well, I have to join in. I don't have much of an option here. This gets France out of my hair for a bit. We should consider how best to use this. I'd still like to fight you, Savoy. But perhaps England have other allies. No, they don't. That I would like to keep out of this. They did not invite Castile, probably because Castile would explode under the pressure at this point. A lot of cores I still need to make. Goodness gracious. Milan is involved, Jake. That they are. That gives me a truce with Milan for better or for worse. But I can't separate peace Milan. But what I can do is tell GB that I'm really quite interested in this land. Sadly, Savoy is interested in that land. Well, fortunately, Savoy can do the heavy lifting for me. And yes, I know my boats are at low maintenance. That's the idea. Nice. Forts are good for this. Didn't even have to bother with river crossing, although I am getting flanked to heck and back here. Well, that dismantled my manpower yet again. Lorraine has decided to enter the coalition. That should be something I'm worried about. It means others want to join as well. Fortunately, barely, the Ottomans are too angry at me for other reasons, but just happy enough that they won't join a coalition. So the question is, who does want to coalition me here? Should be no shortage of such people, but who? I need to start making my landing around here. It's all Catholic. Hopefully it doesn't get targeted, but it shouldn't be too hard to take for myself. I'm strongly considering having a subject take over this land, so I don't have to worry about coring it so much myself. It's a similar thing I did in Granada, but I might just grab Valencia as a subject, let them take this land under scutage, and then integrate them later. What makes me not want to do that is the fact that they're in the Genoese node, so it might actually work against me to do that. As in, it won't immediately be land that I can suckle all the money out of. Maybe I should look elsewhere for subjects, like France, but France isn't next on the chopping block. This area is. Oh god, I might even have the Eastern Roman Empire as my subject, but his cores disappear soon, so that can be a non-issue. Difficult. It would be very handy to have Valencia do the coring for me around here. He's certainly the right... oh, I could also force him to be my religion, although that's no guarantee that he'll actually convert the land for me. I forget if that was fixed by now, probably not. Did you forget about transfer trade for subjects? I could do that, but he certainly wouldn't like that. He's also not my only subject, although he probably would be. Alright, that's what we'll do. We'll get Valencia out cheaply. I'll take the crummiest province and release them so I can do reconquest for them. Also spare me a bit of aggressive expansion for once. And otherwise I take this land for myself. It kind of defeats the purpose, but okay. I could give it to them. I could certainly give it to them. I forget, can you give land to subjects that's across a water tile? I think you can. No reason to think you couldn't, surely. Okay, now to have a fight on our hands. Honestly, the French look ready to die here. They've been fighting rebels for years, and they recently got smacked about by somebody relatively small and pathetic. But it's not always that easy, is it? Be ready for anything. Treason against Rome. Why, that sounds like army professionalism, except Sicily are not going to like it. Too bad. Quite happy with all this army professionalism. Soon I'll be able to Well, refill garrison doesn't exactly